You see, the title of this video is a little crazy because without any context about metaphysics or about who I am, mastering your second thought could mean something very different than what I'm going to be talking about. So if you clicked on this video and you read thought as the other thought, I want you to know this is not the type of video where you're going to be learning about how to master your second side hoe or whatever little situation you got going on. Today I'm going to be talking about why it is so important to master your second thought in order to materialize your desires. And you might be thinking, what the fuck is my second thought? How the fuck do I use any of this? Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm going to break it all down. I don't have a cigarette on me this time, but I'm zinned up. I got the coconut water, and I'm about to go on a crazy yap about this because this has been on my mind. I've been wanting to make this video because I know it is so useful. You see, a lot of people struggle with the thoughts in their brain, and they don't realize that you are not your thoughts, especially your first thought. I know, because I've had this shit happen to me all the time. You ever get a crazy fucking intrusive thought? Like some fuck shit. Or it doesn't even have to be that serious. You get a thought that's just like harmful. It's like a self-hatred thought. It's a thought about, it's a negative thought. A thought where you're speaking down on yourself. A thought of, you know what, fuck it, I'll use some metaphysics terms. I like to try and keep it, very practical, but I'll go into those terms. It's like a low frequency thought. It's a low vibrational thought. And if you don't know how to bounce back from those thoughts, they are going to corrode your entire life. And what I mean by that is the mistake people make is they allow their first thought to affect not only their second thought, but their third thought, and then their fourth thought, and then their fifth thought, and then their entire fucking day. And they fucked up their whole day because they let an intrusive thought or some sort of negative thought ruin them when they didn't need to do that. And that's why it's so important to have the awareness that if you have a first thought that is not in alignment with the version of yourself that you're trying to become, you fucking fix that shit with your second thought, because that's what you have control of. In your reality, you have control over your second thought. You don't have control over your first thought. That one might be some fucking crazy shit, but you can lock back in with your second thought. And what do I mean by that? Fuck it, I just got back from the gym, so let me use a gym analogy. Hold up, I'm gonna drink some coconut water too. I'm really getting into this. Like, I'll be so real. I just lost a bunch of fucking gains in the gym because I was dealing with some life shit, okay? And one of my thoughts is, dude, why the fuck am I even in the gym? Like, I just lost my gains. I have to get this shit all back. How the fuck does that help me? That's that intrusive first thought that I'm getting. So I have to, while I'm in the gym, and I actively do this, even though I've been studying all this knowledge, like this is some shit I do. And you have to, live this. So what I do every time I get one of those thoughts in the gym is I'm like, that's just a negative first thought. I disassociate it from it. That's not me. That's the version of me that I don't want to be. The version of me I want to be is locked in the gym. And that's why I've been doing so well. I'm on like a 8-day streak of just going to the gym nonstop, because every time I get a negative first thought, I just shut that hoe down right fucking now. And that's how you need to live. Because I know, and I'll break it down again just so you know. Here's what's gonna happen if you let that first thought fucking erode your whole life. It's gonna come into your brain, and if you don't disconnect from it and realize that it's not your identity, it will eat your whole day apart if you let it. You have to remember that you're in control of your mind. Unfortunately, you're not in control of the first thought, but you are in control of your second thought. You're in control of how you respond to that first thought. And that's what you need to focus on and take back control of your reality. Because if you're trying to become the version of yourself that already materialized everything that you want to get, that person, I guarantee, would not be getting fucked by all their first thoughts that are intrusive or negative. So if this is a novel concept to you, I want you to know after this video, or while you're watching it right now, you could just pause. Think about everything I just said, because this is so applicable to your life. Understanding this simple concept that I'm in control of my second thought and I am in control of how I respond to a negative first thought could completely transform your reality if you don't be lazy with it. And that's the thing, there's no room for laziness when it comes to materializing your desired reality. Guys, no fucking bullshit. I watched the video back and I realized I didn't say this really important part. The issue is you can allow your first thought to completely fuck up your vibrational state and affect your emotional state. And that's where that first thought really fucks you. You do not want to allow your first thought to change your emotional state. That's how you lose control over your ability to create reality. And that term is not really the best way to put it. I'm making it very simple because you don't actually create your reality. You're just shifting into parallel universes. But all of that's derived from your emotional state. So if you're in an emotional state that's not resonant with the version of yourself that's already achieved all your desires, which is, I guarantee, not some sad fuck, not some hopeless fuck, definitely not a low frequency version of yourself. It's going to be one that's very happy, one that's very fulfilled. If you allow that intrusive first thought to fuck up your emotional state, you just gave up all your power and you just let that shit affect your reality. And that's where you lose all your power as a creator. Because it's not just about the thoughts, it's about the emotional state that those thoughts put you in. So if you allow your first thought to put you in a fucking dog shit emotional state, then yeah, you just fucked up your whole reality. So you can bounce back from that first thought by making a second thought that raises your vibration and puts you in an emotional state that you want to be in. You get one of those intrusive thoughts, you get one of those negative thoughts that brings you down. Fuck that first thought. You bounce back with the second thought right away. Say some shit that pulls you back up. I'm trying to keep this really practical too. This isn't even like some crazy metaphysics shit. This is some psychology shit, to be honest. And that's why I'm just trying to keep it very useful. Because the worst thing that you can do is allow your first thought to fuck up your emotional state. That's the worst place you can be in. Because if you're not in the emotional state that's vibrationally resonant with the version of yourself that's already achieved all your desires, you are not magnetizing your desires. You're magnetizing an undesired reality. And it's going to materialize. And that's going to be the reality that you materialize. So if your first thought fucks up your emotional state, you're in a low vibrational state and you're manifesting from a low vibrational state, you're fucking up your whole reality. You want to be in a high vibrational state. So fuck your first thought. Lock that second thought in. Make it vibrationally resonant with your... Hold up, I'm talking way too fast. Make that second thought vibrationally resonant or emotionally resonant with the version of yourself that already achieved your desires, which would be a high frequency state, high vibrational state, high emotional state. High emotional state meaning you're happy, you're fulfilled. I'll put the list of frequencies right here so you can read them, so you know what the high emotional states is, the high vibrational states. But you want to be in those because that's how you would feel if you had already materialized all your desires. And you got to operate every single day as if you're already fucking living your dream. That's how you're going to materialize your dream life, by living it already. So like what I was saying about the gym is I could allow those first thoughts to affect my emotional state. Like, damn, I really lost my gains. I got to get it back again. I've had to do this like so many times because I get sick and shit. Or like some fuck shit comes up and it throws me off my grind. Whatever. Not even trying to make excuses. I'm just explaining my situation right now. That's why I'm locking back in. But if I allow those thoughts to affect my vibration, then I'm really fucked. Because then it's not just a thought, it's a negative emotional state that will stay with me unless I get out of it. And that can be extrapolated to any type of emotional state, no matter what you're dealing with, whatever situation you're dealing with. You always want to be in an emotional state that's vibrationally resonant with the version of yourself that's already materialized all your desires. That's the optimal place to be in mentally. Or not even just mentally, emotionally. So the number one concept you got to understand to master your second thought is the awareness. Without awareness, that first thought's going to come up. You're not going to disconnect from it. You're going to accept it as part of your identity, even though it isn't. And then instead of following up with a second thought that's either in alignment with the version of yourself that already materialized all your desires, or is at least neutral, like a neutral second thought. If you can't do those, you're eroding your whole reality. Hope you guys have a great day. And if you want to hire me for one-on-one coaching to remove all your subconscious blocks and help you evolve into the limitless integrated man you're meant to be, link in the bio. And if you want to join my community of like-minded men that are all mastering metaphysics to evolve into their highest potential and becoming the man that magnetizes all of their desires in the physical realm, you can join Modern Alchemist Brotherhood, link in the description. But real shit, do not fucking click off this video without understanding that you are in control of your second thought, or you just wasted my fucking time and your time. Because you got to remember, your reality is never going to get better unless you get better. And never forget that. All right, I hope you have a great day. Peace out. I love you guys. Until next time.